Hello everyone, welcome back to this Building Up Your Own HMI and PLC series video. In this video, we will discuss the number 6 topic, how can we configure the Opc UE client in the ignition HMI system. Basically, we will configure the ignition side as an Opc client, and as shown in the screen, we will browse the Opc server. That server located into my computer. This is the TwinCAT Opc UE server. And in this case, I will also use the security setting. Alright, let's shift to the Windows system and let me show how can we go to the ignition gateway and how can we set it up. In the previous video, we used the Opc UE configurator at my engineering laptop, and we connect the PC via the Opc UE security some configuration. And also we click this new. We set up this connection, this bridge between the Opc UE server, tell the Opc server which kind of PLC we are going to connect. And once we set up this connection, we can close this software. Basically, till this step, the Opc UE server side we config successfully. And then we can shift to the PC computer, and we need to configure the HMI, ignition HMI, because the configuration located into the target PC, so we need to use PC desktop. I'm using my remote desktop doing this configuration. So now, okay, this is my desktop. I'm using my desktop connect to this PC, and this is my PC Lenovo ThinkCenter. Then we can use the Google Chrome or IE browser, and then we can browse the home page of this ignition. All the configuration, we need to use this web browser to do the configuration. So firstly, we need to browse the localhost colon 8088 and this address. And then we need to log in. My password admin. Don't be too complicated for your username and password. And I can click this reset trial. It gave me 2 hours. Okay, if this trial that expire, we can reactive. We need to log in and reactive. For the learning purpose, that's enough. And then to set up the Opc UE connection, let's firstly go to the gateway setting. We can see here, it's showing a name here. This is my gateway setting. So this name you can rename. This name that represents your gateway name. Okay, so you can set this name and here. And then let's go to the Opc client. Let's click this Opc connection. Okay, here we need to set up a connection that allows the HMI, this ignition, connect the TwinCAT Opc UE server. So let's create a new Opc connection. Keep in mind we are at here rather than at here. Okay. If you are going to connect the Siemens PLC or Allen Bradley PLC, you need to click this device connection. But the ignition now is running as Opc UE client directly. So we'll use this Opc connection directly. And here, let's create one Opc connection. This is the default, so I won't delete that. So let's create an Opc connection. Okay, we'll use the Opc UE. Okay, type in the endpoint here. Make sure this format, this syntax, okay, this PC IP address 1.130, and make sure this colon 4840, that's the port name of the Opc UE. Okay, click next. Okay, you can see here it automatically translates to the PC name. Okay, no problem. Next. Here, this is security. You can select the endpoint. So most of cases, in the real case, we can select the security with this basic or higher end or the none. I will select some security policy with some security setting here. And trust the certificate, yes. And click the finish. And here, the username, we need to type in the username, the same setting as the previous video. The password will be also the admin. Okay. this will be the same setting as my local system. Okay, admin. Okay. Because now the HMI and the Opc UE server, they are located in the same PC now. So basically the ignition is browsing my local Opc UE server. If the HMI and this TwinCAT Opc UE server, they are now installed in the same PC, is still fine, because Opc UE, that's to browse the IP address, even that's local or remote. One remote PC, that's no big deal. Okay, so I type in the username and the password. Okay, we can click this show advanced and see if there's some special setting here. And this connect timeout, if you are doing the remote internet, could be set longer. Okay, so we will basically leave everything as a default. Okay, create a new OPC. So now it shows the connected. If I enlarge this, it is showing the connected. That means our connection is successfully. So here, that name, this is my Opc UE connection name. Actually, this name, you can also rename that. If you click this edit, you can rename this to a shorter name, because this name will be a part of your Opc UE tags. So I will show this tags after. So, okay, we can temporarily leave this default name at here. Okay. So here, quickly review the gateway name, this. You can change another name, doesn't matter. So we can name, for example, we can name gateway, right? So GW, okay, gateway. Click save. Don't forget save. Okay, we save the change. And the OPC client here, this connection, we created this connection. And now this ignition gateway set up the Opc UE connection with the TwinCAT Opc UE server. And then we can do a very short test. So we can use this OPC quick client and we can do a short test here. So we can browse. This is our target Opc UE server, right? And we can see here the PLC1. So this name from the previous video, under this PLC1, this connection name, we can go to find out the GVL. We can see there are 3 variables we created for the sign calculation, right? This is integer, this is X, this is Y. So as we can see here, we can browse these 3 variables at here. That means we set up the Opc UE connection successfully. And then we can open the HMI project and we can try to browse the Opc UE tag and we can read or write from the HMI screens. Let me briefly set up one HMI project. Okay, then let's go to the projects. Okay, this is the default and we can create a new project. So that means gateway is a container. Within this container, we could have multiple projects. So for this project, we can name that SCADA06 1. This is the HMI project. We can name that demo number 1. In terms of this connection area, we need to go to real-time. We need to set up one real-time connection. Temporarily, let's click the save and let me go to the real-time setting. We create this HMI project here. Okay, again, the gateway is a container. Within this container, we create one ignition project. So far, this project has no relationship with this Opc connection we just set up. Let's go to the tags real time. So this is the tag connection, allows the HMI can locate all the variables. Okay, this is the channel to locate all the variables. Let's create the channel. Okay, create a new real-time tag provider. Okay, see this provider. This is the default. Okay, we can leave this here. We can create default. We can create one provider, tag provider. Okay, standard tag provider next. So we can name this provider as the TC3 PLC Opc UE. TC3 means TwinCAT 3. PLC OPC UA. We create this tag provider name, okay? And because we are not using any database so far, so we do not need to select anything. We can leave everything as a default. We create a new real-time tag provider, okay? We create this. All right, now this real-time, this name provider, and this OPC, and this OPC connection, this is we create this connection. Currently, they haven't have any relationship. Plus this project, they have no relationship each other. To open this project, we can go back to the engineering laptop and we can use the designer, the software we installed in the engineering laptop. We can use the Ignition Designer to open the gateway, open the HMI project, and configure the HMI screens and connect the OPC UE variables. Okay, let's shift to my laptop engineering station and let me use the Ignition Designer to configure this HMI project. Okay, then let's shift back to the engineering station. Till this step, that means we have one controller. That controller will install the PLC and we install the HMI. We create one HMI project. We set up that container ready. And now we can use our personal laptop and engineering station. We can do the configuration using another laptop to do the configuration. This is a very common case, right? In the industry area, you have one controller and one server into the cabinet, and you are going to use your personal laptop running as the engineering station. Okay, now I'm at my engineering laptop, and how can we connect that HMI? So we need to use this designer launcher. Okay, double click. So let's connect that project located into that PC. So let's add designer. Okay, and from here we can wait for a couple of seconds and wait for system if the system can browse or remote project, or we can click this menu. This is usually I will do HTTP 192.168.1.130 and port number 8088. Okay, so take care this syntax. Okay, and don't forget this port number. Let's click this add designer. It shows the host valid. That means it found this gateway in this target address. Let's click the add. So we will see it's try to connect the container, that gateway first. Okay, and once we found this container, let's double click this open designer. Then my engineering laptop will open all the project, will browse all the project located into that PC gateway. See here, that's the gateway. The first time it will show slightly slow because it tried to synchronize something. Okay, my engineering station is trying to browse all the project located into this gateway. We are opening this designer. All right, now it's asking us to log in. So this username that comes from the Ignition, the username is the same name as we every time we log in. So that's name also, I name that admin. Okay, click login. So we can see here, it found two projects. This is the default system come with, and SCADA06 1, this is the project we just did. Okay, if we quickly recall, if I shift back to the PC now, so this is my PC. We just create this project, and this is the project, that default project here. We can actually delete that. And the gateway is this gateway. So if we go to the gateway setting, here. This is my gateway name. That means this gateway includes these two projects. Okay, and every time we log in here, we're at the config mode, right? If I shift back to home and go to the config, if I click this logout, for the login, I'm using admin. So when we try to open the designer, that login name, that's this login name, admin. Okay. Okay, let me shift back to the engineering laptop. Okay, now we can click this and click open. So the basic step, we'll firstly double click this designer launcher and find out the gateway first, and then open the designer. Then we can browse all the projects located into this gateway. So to quickly browse the gateway next time, we can right click, click this create shortcut. Then from the desktop here, we will create the gateway browser. So next time when we try to open the HMI project, so it's very quick. Okay. So we can basically close this or minimize. And now we open this configuration or engineering mode for the ignition software. So from here, we can create the window and we can browse the Opc UE tags. The main window is at here. We can double click this main window. We can create a main window. So we just name the main. Okay. We can click this main window, click create. So here we create a main window. I like to briefly demonstrate how can we browse the Opc UE variables and how can we drag these variables on this HMI. So we can use this HMI as the platform to view or set some value. Okay, then to browse the Opc UE variables, firstly we need to select one tag provider. So we can drag the online Opc UE variable to our HMI, the tag provider. So this provider we just created, TC3 PLC Opc UE. Okay, so we select this. We will use this as our provider, as our tag provider, or basically this is our variable container. And then let's create this online browsing. Browse devices. So from here, we can see from the Opc UE connection, we have this default connection. We also have this. So this is the Opc UE connection. Okay, and from here, we can see this is the GVL, this is 3 tags. And once we drag these 3 tags to here, or we can drag this GVL, this folder, to here, drag to the right side, so we can see our target, that's this provider name, TC3 PLC Opc UE. Okay, so this left side, this is the online Opc UE variables. It directly browses the Opc UE server variables. If the server side we add some new variables, we will see the new added variables at here. So we drag these 3 variables at here, we can click OK. Then we will see from this variable list, and we will see the value is changing. So it's online reading these variables. Okay. What the sample time of this variable are reading? We can click here and click this edit tag groups. And by default, the HMI rate, that's the 1000 milliseconds. You can change to smaller so it can browse the PLC, the Opc UE variables faster. But definitely it will cause the high workload for the HMI system. That depends on the requirements of your system. Basically, default 1 second or 500 milliseconds, that's enough. Okay. So it will update faster. Okay. And to show those 3 values, for example, to show X, Y first. So I can drag this if we are going to do a very simple case. So I like this feature. We can drag to the HMI screen, and then it will pop up some selection for you. We can quickly set up this display show. For example, we can use this LED display. So it will show the X and the Y. Okay. If some value we need to set, for example, I will use this integer, we can set some value to this integer. We can drag this integer here and then select this control and select this numeric test field. Okay, so at here we can type in the value. Okay, to do a quick test, we can click this preview mode. So we can toggle between the preview mode and the design mode. Preview mode, basically this is our engineering mode, but we can run it as the running mode. So we can see this actual run, what that looks like on the HMI. So now I can type in a 45 value. Then we will find the system will pop up this area. It doesn't allow us to write the value into here. That's because here, that's the one protection mode here. By default, that is the read-only mode. This is actually a very good feature. So in case by some reason you accidentally type in one value, that value directly can write into the PLC. So maybe it will screw up something or accidentally fire up something. But like now, if we do want to write the value from the HMI to the PLC, you can shift this mode to this bio direction. So after this, we can type in the value. For example, let's type in 100. Okay, we can see we can write the value. Then let's go to the PLC side. Let's verify if the PLC can receive this 100. So let me shift to the PLC, and now let me log in and go online. So we can see here, this IA under this GVL folder, we have a 100 at here. Okay. So now maybe you will ask if we have a new value at here. So for example, now we have the real new one. New one is also a real value, and new 2. Real value. Okay, so we add 2 variable at here, and we can add 3. So for example, we add a 3 variable at here, and then let's go to here. Let's add a very simple calculation. For example, GVL dot new 3 equal to GVL dot new 1 plus new 2. Okay, so we add this very simple, we add this very simple calculation here. And here, if we click this login, that's not enough, because the OPC UE, that PLC1, that bridge, it doesn't know in this variable list, we got this update already. We got this new added variable already. So we need to tell the system, so we have a 3 variable added. Then the best way, the easiest way, so we can build a project and we can active this configuration. So active this configuration, the controller will restart. Make sure if we are using the actual system. So you need to very carefully, if you have to add new variables, you better select a proper time to download to active this configuration. So we will see the controller will restart. Okay, it's restarting. This is the easiest way. So this is the easiest way to update this new variables if you add something or change something. But the only thing is we have to reboot the controller. Then from the OPC UE client side, they can update and browse the new added variables. If you have a better way, please let me know. From the couple projects I did before, I found this is the best way to guarantee the new variable can be updated. Because some cases, the new variable may not be updated successfully. Then you have to shift back and forth and refresh your provider tag list. It actually costs more time than this way. Okay, so we have a 3 variable new added, and we add this very simple calculation. We can log in the program now. So now it's a 0, right? So now let's go to the HMI. So we have 3 new variables added. Then this is our local, this tag provider. Then we need to browse the devices, browse this Opc UA channel, and from this bridge, that's what I mean. This bridge, PLC1, this connection, it got refreshed after we active configuration, we download the controller. Okay, so this time if we browse the GVL again, we will see this 3 new variable got a new updated. Okay, let's drag these 3 variables to this folder. So we will see these 3 added new variables are here. Okay, click OK. Then we added this 3. We are at this preview mode. So let's toggle. Okay, this is the configuration mode. So even we are at the configuration mode, so we will see this tag is still online reading the variable. So this is a very good feature. So you can see it actually looks like. Okay, this new one, we can drag here. We can click this control because we are going to set something from the new 1, new 2, numeric test field. Okay, the new 1. A new 2, we can drag here and control numeric test field. Okay, and the new 3, we can drag here. New 3 is the display only, so we can click this numeric label or the LED display or the tank. Okay, so we can click this progress bar, for example. And also we can drag again to show the LED display here. Okay, and we can line up this and let's click the online. Okay, make sure we are selecting this bi-direction. So now we can type in the new 1, we can type in 10. So we can also see the 10 value showing here. So that means this variable actually changed to 10. So next one, the new 2, we can type in 56.5. Okay, so we will see the result that they add together in the logic. The new 3 equal to 66.5, and this is the progress. Okay, and now if I shift to the program, so PLC will see 10 plus 56.5 equal to this. In most of cases, you have a bunch of logic at here you like to show on the HMI. You want to type in the value on the HMI. So using this very simple setup, you can set something or you can read something. The Ignition is very convenient platform and the software is very strong, so you can figure out by yourself. Also, Ignition has the university learning platform. You can register and learn more detail. This is a very simple demonstration. How can we set up the Opc connection and how can we show and how can we set the value here. The following videos, I can show some details on the specific setting or the specific tool. For example, how can we switch the screen back and forth, and how can we use the button to turn on the motor, shut down the motor. This I can show the video after. Okay, this is a very brief demonstration how can we use the Ignition HMI. And to run the HMI directly rather than using this pre-mode, we can click here, Tool, Launch the project. So this is still at the engineering station. We can use this way to run the HMI as the actual client. Alright, this is very briefly way to show how can we read the value or how can we set the value from this Ignition HMI. Definitely the Ignition HMI is very strong. It's a very convenient platform. We can do a more complicated task at this HMI. This is a very simple demonstration. Alright, for more detail, see you in next videos. Thank you for watching. If you like this video, please give me a thumb up. If you like to watch more videos in my channel, please subscribe and hit the bell. Thank you for watching.